Alright guys, let's go through the 4.10 patch notes review. Hopefully it's good. I don't want it too loud, but alright. Yeah, let me know how the volume is. But, okay. So, 4.10 patch notes. Nidalee, got new visuals. All Nidalee's Cougar farm ability skills with ranks in R, aspect of the Cougar, so basically you get your R at level 1, and then your Cougar abilities, dang, real? Your Cougar abilities, what's it called? Hold on, what champion did I end with just last game? Rengar, okay. Your Cougar abilities get stronger as you get points in R, so that's at 6, 11, and 16. And then movement through brushes increases Nidalee's movement speed by 10% for 2 seconds, so it's pretty similar. And then increase to 30% toward visible enemy champions within this range, which is a really long range. And then damaging champions with javelin toss or bushwhack marks them as hunted for 4 seconds, granting them vision, or getting her vision and movement speed. And then enhancing her Cougar abilities, especially the pounce. It's really cool because you get like a double distance pounce. So pretty mobile champion now, from what I've seen. Q applies a hunted debuff, which is nice. You get vision as well. Overall, I still think AP Nidalee does a lot of damage. The mana cost is a little bit higher. Yeah, mana cost is a little bit higher, and missile width is halved, which is gonna make it harder to land your spears. But I think what this does is just overall, all these changes are gonna reward really good Nidalee players, but hurt the majority of Nidalee players. So that's that. Applies a hunted debuff. This is the W. Does really good current health damage. It's actually really good for jungle, but I don't know if jungle Nidalee is going to be a thing. We'll see. And only affects one target per trap. Yeah, it used to, I think, affect more than one time. Duration 2 minutes it lasts, so that's that. E. The E mana cost actually got higher too. So basically, they're just turning the mana costs of the Q and the E, which are going to be those late game powerhouse abilities. 1 second. Since again it's constant poke and constant sustain, so that's gonna be that's tough to deal with late game. Again, this is what we're talking about, aspect of the Cougar, the ult. So her Q actually does percent health damage, depending on how much HP they're missing. So wait, where is it actually? Nidalee gains 75 attack range for the takedown attack. Okay, first takedown gets 30% increased damage. Target is missing, which is also good for jungle, but you know it could be used in really good situations like against tanks or something. Oh, not tanks actually. It doesn't do percent health damage. It does AD damage, right? Still. I don't know. They should clarify this a bit more. But anyways, it does a lot of damage. It does this damage, and then plus whatever health the target's missing. It gets stronger. Welcome, Erie109. Thank you so much for subbing. Welcome, dude. So, your W, again, if it's hunted, you get like a double range, which is pretty cool. Killing a unit reduces the cooldown, whether it be a monster or a champion or whatever it is. Nidalee now pounces in the direction of the player's cursor, and the same thing with swipe. This is actually really good. Before with Nidalee, you had to actually like right click into a certain direction to use your swipe or your jump. So now it's a lot easier to use your swipe and jump. It's gonna take a while for players to get used to it though, for Nidalee players, because like I got used to like actually having to click the right way. So yeah, that's gonna be something to deal with. And that's the aspect of the Cougar. Alright, Skarner changes. So I tweeted about Skarner changes. Overall, okay, so this basic attack reduces Crystal Slash's cooldown by 0.5 seconds. If they made this for the ulti as well, it would be okay. But this actually only reduces the cooldown for your Q only. So it's not as good as it used to be, where you know your auto attacks would actually reduce all your cooldowns, you know, all your abilities. They added sort of like a Braum passive, which honestly is kind of impossible to hit. Like it's very unreliable too. It kind of like is E in a way, because you have to hit 3 spells and then you also have to auto, and by that time you know they're probably gone. So it's not very reliable, and it's a very short stun, so I don't really like it that much. I think they should buff it pretty hard if they want to make him even half viable. His damage got reduced overall. His W got on a lower cooldown, not too big of a deal though, because it's a ramp up speed anyways, so that's you get kited pretty hard. Reduces E significantly damage-wise, and reduce the cooldown a little bit. His ulti does more damage per stack consumed, but I mean, if you're gonna get 3 stacks and then ult, then you lose your passive stacks. So, I mean, overall, I think the main issue with Skarner hasn't been solved, where he can't really survive early game, and late game he's just not as good as other champions, in my opinion. So Skarner's gonna need more buffs to be viable. I don't think this is gonna make him playable. Or you can play him, but I don't think he's gonna be a very good jungler. At best, complete generosity, it'd be tier 3 on this tier list, which is near Brand, Hecarim, Shyvana. I don't see him being as good as Udyr Nunu at all, so yeah, he's not that good right now. Alright, so we left off at Galio. So Galio MR per level, he got 1.25 MR per level, which isn't bad, because again, Galio gets stronger the more MR he has, and so yeah, having just more, or having base MR per level is really cool on that champion. So he's a little bit stronger, but I mean, and still, it's Galio, you know, don't think it's going to be played very much. What's a really nice little, you know, tweak, I guess. Drunken Rage on Gragas. Gragas no longer loses damage reduction if he's interrupted during his drink. That's pretty important. 1 second. Welcome, B Havoc P. Thank you so much for subbing. Welcome, dude. Welcome. So, Gragas no longer loses damage reduction if he's interrupted during his drink. I mean, that's just really strong, because you can just press W recklessly in fights and you have that damage reduction. Again, Gragas right now, I don't think he really fits in jungle. I don't really think he fits mid lane. I think the best spots he's at right now is support and top. Top because he has really strong sustain, but because he has sustain, but he's also really good like damage-wise and CC. So, I mean, you could probably jungle him, but I mean, why jungle Gragas when you can jungle Jarvan? You know what I mean? Like, just jungle something that's a little bit better. So, yeah, that's that. Fix a bug. Okay, Karthus. Fix a bug where layways appear to give more vision than it actually did. It's pretty good to fix. Wallpain's VO will no longer be interrupted by movement commands. I didn't know what the VO was. I'm just assuming that's an animation. I mean, sure, cool. As Screech of yeah, that doesn't matter. Rec Room's visual effects are now more noticeable, so you can probably resign yourself to death. That's pretty good, because Karthus was actually pretty hard to see, so hopefully people won't, you know, won't ignore Karthus ult when they, you know, it goes out. LeBlanc, Sigil of Malice no longer silences. I think that's pretty important. One of LeBlanc's annoyances was her silence. I still think she's going to be strong, but definitely not as strong as she used to be. But yeah, that silence was really annoying. You couldn't flash, you couldn't do anything, so that's that. So yeah, LeBlanc, you know, not as strong as she used to be, but still strong. Ardent Blaze. Okay, so Lucian's AD ratio on his W is reduced. Actually, this one actually does magic damage, I believe. It does it does magic damage, but it scales off of AD. So I mean, just less damage on Lucian. That's definitely good. Hopefully, I can get jungle here. Pantheon's ult. Fix a bug where Pantheon can use summoner spells when landing. Most notably, Flash could be used before landing to reposition Pantheon's landing damage area. I actually didn't know that, but apparently you could. So that's fixed. The base mana of Sivir got increased a little bit, mana per level increased a little bit, mana region also increased a little bit, so they just want to see more Sivir play. I actually don't know why Sivir's not being played. I think she's actually really good when it comes down to team fight phase, but laning, again, I'm not an AD carry main, so I can't really give you a clear explanation on why Sivir's not being played, but I think Sivir's a great addition to a team fight, so hopefully she's played more. Play now displays the correct buff icon, okay. Rocket Jump got buffed. Now more accurately checks for nearby. Alright. Now more accurately checks for nearby landing spots when jumping close to or over. Oh, okay. So 60 mana instead of 80. Yeah, the W damage is not good for Lucian. They just don't want to see less Lucian play, so. So it looks like, I guess, her Buster Shot in range now scales with level, like Draw Bead / Explosive Shot. What's Draw Bead? I don't know what that is. Is that her passive? Anyways, overall, Tristana is going to be a little bit better. So what they want to see is they want to see variety in AD carries. So Sivir and Tristana, they give slight buffs. Hopefully they get played more. Twitch. Yeah, this is pretty useless. Twitch got reduced base damage. It's just gonna be a little bit harder to last hit, I guess. True damage also got reduced. At all levels, which kind of sucks. And then this is huge. I was looking at this yesterday. Time to stealth without taking damage, whatever, 1.5 seconds. Maximum time to stealth while taking damage, 6 seconds. I don't think you're gonna survive for 6 seconds with Twitch anymore. Like, you know, like before it was like 3 seconds, okay, you might survive. 6 seconds, I don't think so, so that should be an interesting one. We'll see how it goes. I think Twitch, yeah, that's gonna suck for Twitch players. Alright guys, we're on Zed, but I'm gonna pause it here. Alright, so 4.10 patch notes. Zed no longer teleports to a random location if you deathmark someone who is in the middle of a dash. 1 second, let me just do this. So I didn't actually know that existed, but I guess that's a good bug fix for Zed. Lifesteal items. This is a new item, Essence Reaver. Gain 2 to 8% of the damage dealt by basic attacks as mana. This effect increases based on how much mana you are missing, which is kind of cool. I think this would be really good on champions, that mana-dependent champions, like Tiger Stance Udyr or something like that. But I still don't know if, you know, you're going to invest 2,700 gold in this item just for mana regen. Like, it seems like a little bit too much. Like, I'd rather have, like, you know, a Sunfire cape rather than this. So I don't know how much this is going to be bought. I saw some 80 carries buy it. But again, I don't really know why 80 carries would worry about mana, so not sure how much use this is going to have. There might be a couple champions that are really good for it, but yeah, for now, I don't know. Dornblade, 3% lifesteal, really good for laning. Basic attacks on hit, like, wasn't really that good. So yeah, this is actually a lot better now, the 3%. Health got nerfed a little bit, AD got nerfed a little bit, which kind of sucks for me because I played Elise with Dornblade, but I probably still fulfilled this, I don't know. Maybe not, we'll see. Bam Scepter got nerfed a little bit, Cullis got nerfed a little bit, Boric got nerfed a little bit. I think this was a too strong of an item, so that's good. Well, I guess the damage per hit got increased, but the lifesteal and movement speed, at least, is down. So, remove no longer grants bonus attack damage or lifesteal per unit kill. This is what I was talking about. Hold on. I'm just gonna ban stuff. This is what I was talking about, where I said I don't really like how you get a shield over your health. I'd rather have the old Bloodthirster where you get more AD and more lifesteal, and are lifestealing when you're actually lower than full HP. Because it just, like, the shield decays when out of combat for 15 seconds, first off, so you can just stall for the shield to go down, which is pretty easy to do. Secondly, what you could do is, hold on, let me just ban stuff. Let's ban, I can't spend too much time doing this, Mork. Secondly, I mean, like, it's just a weaker item now, in my opinion. I like the stacking part of it. Yeah, they increased the base stats of it, but like the stacking was really important. So I honestly don't think Bloodthirst is that good. That's just my outlook as a jungler. You might want to ask an AD carry main who knows more than me, which obviously they do. So to me, I don't think BT is as good as it used to be. IE got a slight increase. BF Sword got a slight increase. This is really important. We'll talk about this in a second. Ban TF, I don't know, whatever. So active ability now gives them move speed. Oh man, what am I gonna play? Okay, let's finish off the day with a, this is probably gonna be my last game. Finish off the day with a Wukong game. Wukong's pretty cool. Real quick, I'm gonna go over runes and masters on Wukong. Gonna run 80 Quints, 80 marks, armor. The 80 is just because he has high 80 scaling on his abilities, so you do a lot more damage. Armor for clearing, and then half cooldown, half MR. It's really nice, I guess. And then masteries, I'm going to go 21.9. Reason I don't go all cooldown is because I don't have the rune page for it, and I'd only do that if they had low AP anyways. So, but anyways, I'm just going to keep it like that. Okay, back to notes. Active ability now gives a movement speed bonus to ranged characters as well. That's actually pretty huge. Like, Mercurial Scimitar really wasn't bought much on 80 carries. It just basically was 80 carries. Oh, I have a QSS because I needed this game, and I have all this gold. I guess I'll build a Mercurial Scimitar, and it really didn't make too much use out of it. But that's really good that they get movement speed buff out of it now. Increases in the attack speed and cost for Dagger and Berserkers. Zeal, Wit's End. You know, you can just do the math on these, see if it's better or not. Active now lasts for 6 seconds on range champions as well. And even if it is, it's not too significant. Active now lasts 6 seconds for range champions as well. That's pretty good. The fact that it was better for melee champions was kind of bad. I think Ghost Blade, you'll see a lot more Ghost Blades on AD carries in my opinion. I think it's a pretty good item, but I saw some pro players doing it in Challenger. Like Turtle started building Ghost Blade on Misfortune and Lucian, so you might see this a lot. We'll see. This is one of the most annoying updates I've seen in a while. Not this one. Passive Cold Steel's attack speed reduction now 15 to 10. Okay, they got nerfed a little bit. This is probably the most annoying update I've seen in a while. Passive Cold Steel no longer reduces attackers' movement speed. Passive... okay, so that's just the Warden's Mail part. No longer reduces attack movement speed, which was about 15% movement speed reduction, which was huge because it would allow you to catch to AD carries. So now if you buy a Randuin, you're not going to be able to like, oh, he hit me? Awesome, he's slower now. No. So this is what my issue with this is. I think AD carries have too much mobility now, and the fact that they even nerfed Randuins on top of this, it just doesn't make sense to me. I guess they want AD carries to literally dominate the game. That's what it looks like to me. I mean, BT is worse in my opinion. Maybe they did this to like to kind of like negate the nerf on BT. In my opinion, it's a nerf. You know, you can ask an AD carry main, but in my opinion, I think it's a nerf. So I don't know. I don't like this at all for junglers, but we'll have to deal with it. Support Ardent Cresser, your heals and shields on another unit, grant them 25% attack speed. That's pretty cool. I think it's really good for like something like Nami or Janna. It gives another support item that they can buy, so they don't have to buy something like, oh, I'm gonna buy the speed up item, the talisman, or I'm gonna buy Zeke's or something like that. Like they have another option, which is really good. I think this is great. So not too expensive, I guess. 8% movement speed, cooldown. It's nice. I don't know. We'll see if it's bot. Oh, cool dodge. I could be able to finish now. But an idol got reduced cost. Mikkel's Crucible got increased cost. This might make Rammus actually a little bit more viable because the reason I don't play Rammus is because Mikkel's Crucible is so cheap, 1,600 gold. It's like a BF sword, so the fact that you can just Mikkel's Crucible this time made him pretty useless. So you might see a little bit more Rammus. Like he's not going to be top tier or anything, but at least he's playable. You know, that is more expensive. But I mean, again, Rammus doesn't do too well versus Mikkel's teams. I know it's a long cooldown, but it's still, you know, you can make use out of it and try to avoid Rammus and stuff while it's on cooldown. BT sucks dick, go IE. So there you go. From an AD carry main streamer, Geronimo, BT sucks dick, go IE. So there you go. IE's better. MR got reduced on Athene's. Mana regen got reduced. Passive mana restoration on kill assist got upgraded. I think this actually hurts Athene's more than helps. In lane, so a lot of the mid laners who build Athenes to stay alive are going to get hurt by that. So that's that. Relonomicon, a little bit slight AP increase, mana regen got a little bit lower. I don't really care about that. I don't know how much that's going to affect it. I don't think so. I think it helped it more than it hurt it. Let's just say that. Because I don't think you built Morellos for mana regen, but you know, that's that. Cooldown when teleporting to towers now 240 seconds instead of 200. That's important to note. So junglers, when you're timing TPs, it's 240 seconds now. So that's 4 minutes exactly, which is actually a lot easier to time stuff now. Because it used to be 3 minutes and 20 seconds, now it's 4 minutes exactly. That's if they have a 300-second cooldown teleport in the beginning. If they have a 270, which is utility masteries, it'll be 30 seconds less. It'll be 2.5 minutes, or 3.5 minutes. So just make sure you know that you're aware of this update. I think this is good. I think cooldown or TP is just too strong of a summoner, and they nerfed it. Any nerfs to TP are good. Movement speed boost, duration to 2 seconds, 1 second. I think they need to remove this completely. No offense to ADs, like this is too good for you guys. This is especially since Randuin's got nerfed. Like I don't know why they still have a movement speed increase in this. Like it just, I don't know. And Ghostblade got better. Like they're giving so much movement speed to ADs. Fix the bug for exhausted non-grant assist when used against slow immune targets. So I guess that was Master Yi and stuff like that. Or Olaf. Reinforced armor. Tooltip clarified to state that it reduces the total damage from critical strikes. Okay. That's good. Dragon. This is a pretty important update too. They increased the base gold of Dragon to 180, and the gold per level is 10 per level. So obviously Dragon levels up throughout the game. Basically what it's saying is Dragon is a lot more important early, so if you can get early Dragons, make sure you're doing it safely though. If you can get early Dragons, do it, because it's way worth it, because they don't scale too hard into late game anymore, but they are worth a lot more early game. So, I mean, they scale into late game, but it's still, you know, 15 to 10. It's pretty significant. So that's that. This is not important. Players use their keyboards per okay. Okay, yep, that's not too important there. So yeah, LeBlanc, no more silence. Yeah, that's gonna suck for her, but I still think she might still be played. Alright, so that's 4.10 patch notes. Hopefully you guys liked it. I read them beforehand this time to just kind of get a good grasp on everything. Yeah, that's everything overall. So I'm going to upload that to YouTube. If you missed anything, I'm uploading the entire thing onto YouTube.